everybody, I'm Tom Vassell. Welcome to the Dice Tower's 12 Games of Christmas. This is a series of videos that we do each year where we give you some games that we think are worth checking out and buying for other people for Christmas. And we want to say thank you to our sponsors of this video, Above Board TV. Above Board TV is a comedy YouTube channel that talks about board games like we do, but they're funny. And they're also extreme. And I mention this extremeness because in the link of this video, there is a video about them playing games covered with bees. I've never done that. Anyhow, all you have to do is comment on that video and you can get entered into a contest. 10 lucky winners are going to win a game shipped to them in the continental US for $50 or less from Amazon. You get to pick the game, and one lucky winner will get 2 days, 3 nights stay in LA with the Above Board team and get to participate in one of their videos. So go check out their videos. Lots of funny things you can find on their YouTube channel. So today we're talking about family games, a game to buy for the family to play. And of course, we know families are all very different, so we try to have 12 different selections on this list. Let's get started.
The first family game here is the one that I thought was going to win the Spiel des Jahres, but didn't. This is Captain Flip from Playpunk Games. This has such a very simple central hook to it. You grab a tile from a bag, and you can place it out onto your board as is, or you can flip it over. It has a bit of a push your luck feel, especially the more that you fill in your board. You're trying to fill in certain columns for bonuses, but you could maybe flip that tile over, and it might help you, but it also might be one that kind of hurts you a little bit. If you get too many cannoneers, then you're just going to blow up your whole ship. I like that tension. I think it has very simple little adjacency rules, trying to fill in columns, trying to race for different little things here. Bonuses that you can get by drawing more tiles for negative points. So it's so simple. It teaches itself basically as you play it, and yet there's enough there to really bite on and chew on. So for a great family game, recommending Captain Flip.
Next up is a game that has been a huge hit for me personally and in my play group, and this is going to be Dragonkeepers. Dragonkeepers is very unique. It's one of those games that's easy to play, and I think it's a pretty light game, but it's a little bit to wrap your head around because there's really nothing like it that I've found. You are collecting dragons and choosing kind of a push your luck mechanism of when to stop, because you can take up to 3 dragons but stop whenever you want. And when you stop, that's going to set what the placement rules in your tableau are for that round. You play dragons to ultimately get amulets, which are points, and at the end of the game, highest points win. So you have this push your luck, but also a little bit of mitigation with that deck. It has a follow action, so everyone's involved on every turn. And honestly, the artwork is just absolutely adorable. It's a very approachable game, very approachable artwork that I think that you can play with everybody once they kind of adjust. And at the end, once they make those adjustments and figure it out, they're gonna say, wow, there's nothing else like this. So if you know someone that's looking for that, check out Dragonkeepers.
Okay, so this next game was a surprise. I think behind the name, I thought, I'll try it, but it is Fairy Ring. Fairy Ring, it's cute. It has these little acrylic fairies. And first of all, I love acrylics. And the fairies are going to travel around the table, and you're going to kind of put together a group of mushrooms on your side, and you're going to try to get these fairies to stop on your mushrooms. And if they do, you're going to score different points. And you can make these mushrooms stack higher and higher and higher, and it'll also give a different point synergy, kind of a point salad, as these fairies come through. There's different things to get them to slow down, put more mushrooms out there. There's a lot of decisions on this. It's like, do you go through for a large tableau, or do you kind of focus on certain mushrooms? So if they hit those, you're going to get a lot of points quickly. And quickly, that's another thing. This game does play quick. You learn it quick, you play it quick. It's one of those that you say the rules, couple rounds in, you guys are playing. And this game is a huge surprise. I think you should check it out, Fairy Ring.
Next up on the list is Harmonies. And this is a nice family weight game that's about building landscapes. And you're building your landscapes based on different objectives that you're getting. Then there's cards that you're drafting that are giving you those objectives. And so what I really enjoy about this is that you are collecting beautiful pieces, placing them on your board, doing a lot of fun puzzly stuff, but also meeting objectives and choosing new objectives as you go throughout the game. I think this is a fabulous family weight game. I enjoy the drafting of it, and I think at the end of the day, you have a beautiful landscape in front of you. So if Harmonies sounds like that nice, light, good filler family game, you might want to check that out.
Our next game is Monkey Palace. Monkey Palace is the first in a reinvigorated Lego line. That's right, there's a bunch of Lego pieces in this game. And you are building a palace of Legos, all different shapes, with little bridges that you're connecting to each other. And it's a little bit of a thinky style game because on your turn, you're going to build a few pieces out on the board, trying to build sort of a bridge, building it as tall as you possibly can, these little connections, and then getting to add a little bit of decoration to it, and then getting a card as a reward. That card is going to give you more of the Lego pieces that you can then place out in the future. It's a pretty neat 3D production when you're done. You can spin it around and look at it, but at the same time, you're deciding whether to build maybe a small little stairway now or a bigger one later on and get a lot of points that way, or maybe take a card that's worth more points but gives you fewer pieces as the game goes by. It's neat to build this kind of masterpiece Lego thing, but also have a really good game in there. So that is Monkey Palace.
Next up we have MLEM. Yes, it's an unusual name, and yes, I did have to look up what it meant. Apparently it's something to do with sounds that cats make when they lick their nose. Something along those lines. Anyway, this game is a push your luck dice game where you are cat astronauts, or catronauts I call them, and you are pushing your luck to try to go on a rocket ship, and you're trying to get to distant planets and moons. And every time that somebody is moving, someone will be the captain of the spaceship and that will rotate around. You're deciding whether you want to stay on that ship, risking potential explosion, or if you want to jump off and land on one of these planets or moons. The further you go, the greater the rewards, but also the greater potential for destruction. This is a beautiful, beautiful production that is very simple to teach, and a wide range of players would be potentially interested in this game. That is MLEM.
Next up, for an interesting family weight area control game, check out Wrath of Fire Mountain. This one is from Game Right Games, co-designed by Eric Lang, who does great area control games, and Phil Walker Harding, who makes great approachable games, and the design philosophy of these two really shine together. Roll some dice up to a few times, place your little cavemen out there, maybe try to recruit some dinosaurs to your team to give you a little special juicy extra power, and then try to control different areas. There's an interesting hook where you get to slide around the tiles so you can make areas larger and worth more points if you control the majorities there, or break up someone else's, and yet it's done in such a lighthearted and fun way that it never feels too mean or too serious. I think that this is, a lot of people call this like Blood Rage Junior or Blood Rage Light, and I have to agree with that, and this is what I find terribly fun, so I'm recommending Wrath of Fire Mountain.
And next up in our family category, we are recommending Spellbook. In Spellbook, everyone is going to start with a couple basic spells, and on their turn, they're going to be pulling out runes and drafting runes in order to power up those spells and ultimately build into some asymmetric properties and asymmetric player powers. Everyone is going to feel powerful as they build up their characters. And that's why this game really sings. A lot of times these games where you get into this asymmetry a little bit, or these player powers, they quickly become a little too advanced to call family games. Spellbook maintains that really well, and you have choices. You see all your choices from the beginning, starting basic, building up. You feel powerful. Everyone else feels powerful, which maintains that tense race to the end. So for that, we recommend you check out Spellbook for the family gamer.
Cities is the next one on our list, and this is a city building game, but it takes place in like 30 minutes. Also, you get to travel throughout the world to lots of different famous cities, and what that does is that changes different objectives that you're going to try to meet each round, and they're very much first come, first serve objectives, and so it changes just kind of the goal and the feel and the flow of the game just a little bit while still maintaining the simple nature of it. So every round you're going to be drafting, and you're drafting like one of 4 things, and it's just really making that choice of what do I want to draft first because someone else might take it. So everyone's going to get buildings, but which pile of buildings do I want, and is that more important than which objective that I want? So I think there's some really cool stuff going in this. It's a very light, good, welcoming family game. So there you go, that's Cities.
Next up, we have River Valley Glassworks. In this game, you and your fellow players are going to be animals that you might find in and around a river. And what you're doing is you are collecting these beautiful glass pieces that have been flowing down the river and eventually pooling into a lake. And you're going to be doing this by spending the same river pieces that you're gathering to get other ones that are represented along this flowing river. And you're going to be using those pieces in what's called a set collection type of a mechanism, where you want to have the same colors of particular types of glass pieces. This is all done in a splendid looking production where the pieces are very satisfying to hold and to touch, so there's a great tactile element to this game. It's also very simple to teach and learn and would appeal to a wide variety of players. That's why River Valley Glassworks is a very solid choice for you and your family. One you should check out.
What do you mean the tree isn't real? Why do I smell pine then? Our next game is Super Kawaii Pets from Arcane Wonders. In Super Kawaii Pets, players have a bunch of sad animals, and they need to give them what they need to become adorable, happy pets. They then put these special little critters in beds and houses once they're happy. And the more happy critters you have in houses and accommodations, the more points you get. Each turn, players choose cards from a market of sad animals and animal needs. For instance, a sad kitty cat might need veterinary care, or treats, or love from a loving grandma. Players can help an animal by spending a card they need, and the animal card flips over to be an intensely cute and adorable animal. Once players collect a few cute, happy fluffers, they can then grab an appropriate home and bed. After one player has 10 cards in front of them, the game ends. Cute animals and homes score points, while grumpy, unfulfilled animals lose points. That's why, life lesson, you should immediately get rid of any animal that you own that's sad.
Spots is a little game about dogs and the spots on them. This is a dice game. And what's fun about this game is you're rolling dice with numbers on them, but these numbers are actually placed onto dogs, adding to the number of spots that are on them. So that's like a little visually fun affair, this game from CMYK, as these dogs are out there and you're trying to figure out how to complete them. If you like games like Yahtzee, but you want something a little bit different, that's what this is, sort of. You're rolling dice and trying to accomplish different dogs that are out there, and each dog will get finished in a different way. And so it's the fun of figuring out what dice I'm going to put where on my turn, and I'm going to complete dogs. But also when you complete the dog, each dog has a different look to it with the spots, and it's just kind of a fun, little fast game that's easy to pull out for the whole family. This one's a very light game. It can be taught in just a minute or less, but also has a lot of strategy and a lot of different things that the variability from game to game is pretty high. So check out Spots. And that's it for another list here of games, the family games, whether you're buying them for yourself or somebody else. Hey, when we put these lists together, we try to find games that are online. We hope that you're able to get most of these games. We checked different online game stores. We looked to see if it was available on their website. But these things change from minute to minute sometimes. But hopefully several of these games you can find and buy for fun Christmas presents with your family. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell, and this has been the 12 Games of Christmas Family, sponsored by Above Board TV. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.